yeah, not afraid to speak at all. Again, Councillor Adam Vaughan and Councillor Giorgio Mammoliti, thank you for joining us this morning. First off, Clayton Ruby says Mayor Ford did this to Rob Ford. Did he deserve this?
I'm not sure deserve is the issue, but the judge's ruling is very clear on this. He had a choice to make a declaration of a conflict of interest. He chose not to. He was aware that he should have, and he has now borne the consequence of that decision. For all the conservatives in the world who like mandatory minimum sentences, this is a mandatory sentence on a finding of a conflict of interest. You must be removed from council. The question then becomes what other penalties get added onto that, and the judge in this case has removed him from office, but has not chosen to ban him from running in the next election, which was part of the sentencing options.
Councillor, Mayor Ford has straight out said this is a left-wing conspiracy. What do you make of that?
Nobody on the left started the Football Foundation, and nobody on the left had him effectively asking what's at the heart of this is that he was asking lobbyists for money. As a sitting politician, asking lobbyists for money while he was voting on issues that they had business in front of council with. And as a result of that, he was found to be in violation of the Code of Conduct at council. A penalty was imposed upon him, and then he chose to participate in the debate and the vote on whether or not he should pay that penalty. That's what's put him in the conflict of interest. The left had nothing to do with that. You can blame the citizens' action on political ideology. I don't think that's fair, and to label the judge as biased, I think puts him in a very difficult spot because he has to go in front of the same judge to stay the sentence.
Councillors, if you asked the public 2 weeks ago, they'll say the two of you sitting on this couch together without arguing would be an odd scene. Today, obviously one of the other pieces of big news that came out yesterday, Councillor Mammoliti resigning from executive committee. You're getting a bit of criticism, a bit of slack from people who are, you say your explanation that your constituents have said from this ruling it is best to separate yourself. But you are receiving a bit of criticism saying, you know, you're shifting where the power is shifting.
I probably would have received more criticism after I was appointed. Today we're dealing with appointments at council for the next 2 years. So the mayor wanted me to sit on the executive, and I would have had to accept it if that were the logic, to worry about criticism, and then resign in a week or two. Doesn't it make more sense, to be honest with people, and to say, this is the time for me to do it? I don't accept the nomination to the executive, and let's just move forward. And one other thing, we have to stop talking about like the personal stuff with the mayor. Yesterday was about the mayor. I agree with that. Now we got to start worrying about Toronto. What's best for Toronto, and let's move forward for what's best for the city of Toronto. We have business to conduct, and we cannot be caught up with the politics around this thing. We've got to move forward. And the best way for me to do that is outside of the executive, to work with people like...
I have to ask, George, does that mean the thumb goes away now?
The thumb goes away. It's going to be hidden.
No more
thumb. The thumb is going to be hidden for a while.
That's good. I think Giorgio's right. I think that this is a time for council to lead. In many ways, we've been leading for the last year. We've had a bit of an absentee mayor as he coaches football and is in court, and I think has really lost control of the agenda. This ruling, I think, has made it crystal clear that council now must take a deep breath, take a step back, and turn our attention to some of the big issues of the day. One of the things that's going on right now, and the mayor hasn't been part of this, is the big city mayors met in Ottawa a couple of days ago, last week, and they met with their other big city mayors, Vancouver, Calgary, Ottawa was there, Toronto wasn't, to negotiate infrastructure investment, billions of dollars on the table, and we're not there as part of the conversation. We need to be front and center there.
In fairness to that, I am still am the mayor's designate on that big mayor's task force, and they changed their particular date at the last minute. So we were to be. Yeah, it is true. We were to be there, but they changed their mind in terms of where and when at the last minute, and it's hard for us to attend. That's what's happened. So just in fairness.
Councillor, you said that's not true.
Well, no, I've been in contact with the mayor of Calgary and Vancouver throughout this process, and they had spent a long time trying to get Rob Ford to that meeting. He didn't go, but that's water under the bridge. The issue now is this council going to stand up and provide support and partnership with other cities as we negotiate with Ottawa, and then internally we've got a budget being launched this week. We have appointments, as Giorgio Mammoliti just said. We have to come together as a council and make sure that the interests the city are served and not this ongoing soap opera.
I just want to add one thing. There are people that invest in this city to hundreds of millions of dollars. This sends a bad signal out there. It's worldwide right now. I saw the communications yesterday.
It's trending, absolutely.
We've got to stop this, because if we don't get people investing in this city, it's going to be really bad for the city. This is going to snowball into more than just Rob Ford.
Let me ask you this. Okay, so there is the possibility of a by-election. Would either of you or both of you be interested in being the city's next mayor?
I personally think that the person that's going to sit in term until the end of this year, I won't support a by-election of $7 million. There needs to be somebody on council that's going to sit for the next 2 years in term. That person has to commit that they're not going to run for mayor next election. And in my opinion, we still have a mandate. That mandate is a fiscal mandate to straighten things out at City Hall, and that person has to say, I'm still prepared to follow through with the agenda the way it is.
So that is a...
I'll leave everything open for now, but that's what I'll be looking for.
And Councillor Vaughan?
The conversations in the city have been circling for a number of weeks, and those conversations about whether I should run or not are underway prior to this event and will probably continue after this event, and questions like yours are not the first time I've been have to think about it. That being said, right now as councillors, first of all, there's no clear way forward right now. Appeals are possible, stay of decisions are possible, by-elections, appointments are possible. The real work that I think needs to be done is that all of us need to take a step back. I think all of us need to talk to our constituents and make decisions like Giorgio's made. And then we need to talk to each other, get good advice from the city solicitor and from the clerk's office. That advice is coming today. And then once we know what the way forward is, I think we can make decisions like that. But it's not about personal ambition right now, and if it is, it's going to be very divisive on council, and I don't think, as Giorgio said, the work that we need to do will get done, and that's not in the best interest of our citizens, certainly not in the best interest of our international reputation, which is already being hurt by this recklessness.
Yes. Unfortunately, we have to end it here. That does it for our time. Again, thank you very much, Councillor Vaughan and Councillor Mammoliti. We'll see next steps, of course, council meeting happening today. A lot will be said, a lot to get done. We'll be right back here on BT.